Hey everyone, it's Lisa from Primitive Gatherings, and I'm super excited about my guest, Laura Heine. All right, Laura, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
We're interrupting her class, by the way, so thanks for giving us this time to talk a little bit.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about yourself first, like personal.
Well, I have been a quilter for about 38 years. I own my own shop in Billings, Montana. It's called Fiberworks. I'm also a fabric designer. I've designed threads and I design patterns and write books. Kind of the whole gamut like you.
Yeah, well, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
We all kind of have our own little crevices we go to or things we find to excel in.
Right. I used to be a registered nurse, but I do not have time to do that anymore.
No, of course not. You got better things to do. Not better, but more creative things to do.
Exactly.
Yes, yes. And what about family?
I have 2 grown kids and I have 4 grandkids.
Oh, nice.
2 boys and 2 girls, and I'm excited that I get to go see 2 of them this next week.
Perfect. So I think you're on kind of a little tour here, aren't you?
I am, yeah. I'm going to go see my grandkids, and then I'm going to do the H&H show. So I'll get a lot done.
Yep. When you run the teaching circuit, you're kind of like a quilt gypsy, I call it, right? Because you're always coming and going and packing and unpacking. And
I feel like this whole lifetime, I'm a mule.
Right. I drive a big vehicle because that's all I do is pick things up, put things in there, and constant hauling,
packing and unpacking.
The time. All right. So then that's your little personal stuff. So what about like how did you find quilting? Like how did this happen in your life?
I took a class from a friend of mine, and I was pregnant with my daughter, and I was just going to make one quilt for her and call it good. You know, that's all I needed. Well, I kind of got the addiction, and my friends talked me into opening up a shop, and I started in a 1,500 square foot building with 1,000 bolts of fabric, and now I own my own building at 6,100 square feet, and here I am today.
I might have to go on a road trip someday.
Right.
Yes, awesome. Billings, Montana?
Yeah.
Okay, Billings, Montana, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so then being a shop owner, that's another thing too, right? So like who's manning the shop right now?
I have great employees, which I'm really blessed for.
Right, isn't it the best when you can not worry about that?
Well, and that they support you.
Right, and they get you, and they understand you, and they do what you would do.
Exactly. It's hard to find that, but once you get it, it is so freeing, you know.
And you want to hang on tight to them, right?
Right,
you don't
exactly, exactly. So they run the shop when I'm gone. Actually, my dog got sick on this trip, and so they even went and picked up my dog and took her to the vet, and I guess it's...
Capable women,
right? Exactly.
Yes, they can handle it.
Yeah.
Awesome, that's good. All right, so what about future plans?
Well, I mean, I don't think that I ever want to quit what I'm doing. I don't necessarily want to keep traveling so much and teaching, but I do have over 200 certified teachers that I've taught how to teach my techniques. So I need to kind of step back a little bit and let them take over the teaching end of it, and maybe just do a couple of big shows every year. And that's kind of what my goal is. I'm building a studio right now in Red Lodge, Montana, where I do most of my creating. It's at the base of the Beartooth Mountains, so it's a beautiful place. Kind of like here, there's not a whole lot around you, and sometimes you don't even have internet.
We're in a fall field, like today.
Right.
Yeah, so typically we would be live today, but for some reason, there's 7 businesses in the area that do not have internet. So that's why we don't have the interaction between our customers, and it's sad that we don't, because I'm sure they would just love you and they'd be blowing up the feed. I can't imagine what that would look like. So I feel bad that they don't get the opportunity to put their questions in there for you or give you all their accolades, because I'm sure some of them have taken your classes and stuff like that. So cool. But we will be showing you some of her quilts. I asked her to pick 10 of them, right? 10 or 12, did I say?
I don't know how many I picked.
I said, pick some of your favorite. She's like, they're all my favorite. I know. I said, but you know, the ones that you know for sure you couldn't live without, even though I'm sure it's all of them. But so maybe we should show those first, and then I have a few more questions for you at the end.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay, so
So first, kind of describe your technique.
okay, so I am a collage quilter, which means if you think about paper collage, it's the same basic premises, except I'm using fabric as my medium instead of paper.
Or pictures. Or,
Yes,
yep.
yeah, so
And you're using thread instead of glue.
yes.
Or fusible.
I'm using fusible instead of glue.
Yeah.
Yes, I use Steam-A-Seam too. This quilt is called Be Brave, and this is an upcoming class that I'm doing for my certified teachers as an advanced class because it's incorporating the Inktense pencils in it as well. So this pattern won't be available till late July, I believe.
Okay.
But this has a lot of free cutting in it. The Inktense pencils.
Show me where the pencil is.
The pencils are all along this outline. See how I kind of darkened around
I see.
his
Yeah.
face?
You drew on the fabric.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I actually
Instead
drew
of
on
the
it.
shading
Yes.
is what she's
Yep,
done
the
with
shading.
the pencil. Okay. And explain an Inktense pencil.
Inktense pencils are like a watercolor pencil for fabric. You can paint with them, use water or aloe as your medium, and just paint in the darker areas, or if you want something white to be red, you'd paint it red. And once you heat set it with an iron, it's permanent.
Oh, okay.
So it's there forever.
I'm like a school supply junkie, right? So when I see something new, so I bought a whole like tin. I think it's two.
Right.
I have those.
And you've never used
and
them.
I've never used them yet.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Well, that's what I find
Yeah.
is there's so many people that have them but don't know how to use them.
Yeah, but I want them for when I'm ready.
Exactly, exactly. So I do a series of Inktense exclusive classes. It's called the Flower Shop series,
Okay.
where I'm incorporating a little bit of collage and more Inktense,
Okay.
so that people learn how to use those. Yeah, here's some Inktense pencils right here. They come in pencils, and they also come in a block where you can actually pull the color from a block, which is, they're more conducive. The blocks are more conducive to painting. These are more
So it looks
conducive
kind
to
of like
drawing.
a regular colored pencil.
Yes.
Do you have to? So you dip it and then use it?
No, you can color it, and then you can take a paintbrush and wet
and wet over
it,
it. Okay.
and then it kind of bleeds.
Does the watercolor thing. Okay.
Yeah, and with fabric, you have to be careful how much water you put with it because it may bleed outside of the boundaries where you want it to be.
Oh, okay.
That's where the aloe comes in nice.
Okay.
The aloe is another medium that you can use instead of water, and it keeps the movement only where you paint it.
Okay.
Which is kind of fun.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting. A whole
Yeah.
nother class, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Right? Yeah. So, and that's good because now you're building more onto your
so,
collage class.
Exactly. So if you can't find a fabric that's exactly the right shade that you need, you can create that shade.
Find one shade and then add the shades that you need.
Exactly.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
This is pretty spectacular, don't you think? Very cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. Now, just tell everybody where they can find you. All your social medias.
Okay, so I am on Instagram, Fiberworks Quilt Shop, Laura Heine, and I'm also on Facebook, Fiberworks Quilt Shop, Laura Heine. I have a website that's fiberworks-heine, HEINE.com, or just Google my name, Laura Heine, and it'll come up. My shop is awesome, but most of my business is done online. I get people from all over the world.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been to Dubai and I've taught in Dubai, so now I've kind of spread myself out in that area of the world.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's fun.
Good for you. I love it when I hear things like that.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, what's next?
All right, so next we have the pink piano.
Piano.
Yeah, this one was done originally in black. And I thought, I don't know how many kits I should do with this because I don't know how many collage people are actually pianists.
Okay.
But I was actually really surprised. I sold out of the black piano so quick, and then I decided, I'm going to do a piano that I would like. So that's where the pink one came from.
Don't you think that it's best to make something that you would like or you would
Yes.
buy? because then
Yes. I have so many people that say, oh, will you do this or will you do that? But if that subject matter doesn't appeal to me,
your heart isn't in it. Yeah,
I can't do it.
Right.
Well, like for example, somebody wanted me to do a sea turtle. And it took me 1.5 years to collect fabrics for the sea turtle.
Because you have to find them. They're not just, yeah.
And I'm buying them by the bolts. You know, like I might buy 8 bolts of one blue.
Just for one piece.
Yes. Yeah, for the amount of kits that I do. And anyway, it took me 1.5 years to collect the fabrics, partly because I had to find all the right fabrics, and the other part is I wasn't too keen on doing a sea turtle. But I love it. It opened up a whole world of sea animals to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
so it's kind of fun where it all takes you.
Here, we could just maybe push it up.
Okay, this one is called In Bloom. And this is with my brand new fabric that just was shipped to stores. And I think Lisa has some of it. It's called Goodness Gracious. Wyndham is my fabric company. And I always make samples from my fabric lines. And this is one of them.
Is this more, could this be more considered a like beginner? Like if you,
yeah, this is going to be
intense.
A little bit easier. There still is a little bit of creativity that you have to put into it yourself.
Right.
But it's not as hard as some of the others, like the lion or the piano.
Yeah, to me that one looks like it's got a little bit more, oh, I can do this, the big flower.
Right, right. This one is my latest, well, no, not my latest. This was last year's Halloween. This is called Crystal Ball. And Halloween is so popular with my customers. They just love Halloween and can't wait for my next pattern to come out for the next year.
So how many do you do a year?
Well, so far this year, I've already done 8 patterns. So, and some of them...
It's only April.
I know. But some of them...
Does that mean any from this size to this?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is the smallest that I do.
Okay.
But a lot of times I have to pre-do things, like I'm going on a cruise in Mexico next year, and
they want to know what they're making.
Yeah, and they want something special
for
that
them.
will go with that cruise.
Exclusive,
so
yes.
I'm working on projects that are for next year.
Okay.
This is my Halloween for this year. We have Scaredy Cat, the Pumpkin Patch, and the Haunted House.
So fun. And you know what I love? That it's not just orange and black.
Right.
I mean, she's got all the colors.
I have to have pink in almost everything.
Oh, that's your thing, huh?
Yes.
That's your signature. So
Yeah.
pink, pink, pink,
Yeah.
pink.
Yeah.
Pink can be Halloween. Look at
Oh, yeah.
that. That is great.
But all 3 of these come in one pattern.
Wow. This is amazing. I love seeing all the different things that can be done.
Thank you. This one is, of course, sunflowers. And this pattern ironically came out just before the whole Ukraine deal. And so this pattern kind of got on the map because of Ukraine and the sunflowers. And
I don't know if you can see this, but it is quilted in neon pink.
Right. It kind of gives
Neon
you, from
pink.
a distance, it gives you that kind of glow, that pink glow.
Yeah, it does. That's just awesome. I would be too scared to do it in pink, but not anymore. Now I can see you can do whatever you want.
Right. Okay, this one.
This is the granddaddy.
Yeah,
right?
well, this is one of my all-time best-selling patterns.
This is half the quilt.
Yeah, this is half of it. This is called Garden Party, and this one was also done with a fabric collection that I designed. This was a little Western line that I designed. So I kind of do this pattern with every line that comes
Western.
out. Yeah.
Western. Okay. Does this look Western to you?
It doesn't look Western at all, but if you
skulls.
dissect it, you
yeah,
can see.
I can see the horses.
Yeah.
Yeah. The flowers.
My daughter is a long arm quilter, and she quilted this for me. It's quilted like every 1/8 inch apart.
Yeah, it's good. Wow.
Yeah.
Does she do all your quilting?
No, not all of it. Just
Do you
my
do
big
any of
quilts.
it?
Oh yeah, I do most of it.
Okay.
But she quilts for customers.
All right. That's nice. You got her a job, right?
Right.
Does she end up doing most of your things, like
No.
your customers' quilts?
Well, yeah, a lot
or
of my
she'll do-
customer quilts,
Yeah.
because we hand out her information.
Right.
So,
Perfect.
yeah, she's got a good following.
Good.
Yeah, yeah.
And she gets to stay home and work from home
Yes,
and
she's
take
a
care
stay-at-home mom.
Good.
Yeah.
Nothing better. I can't
Right,
imagine.
she
I wish that
works-
was more of a thing when I was
I
home.
know. She works very hard with her 2 kids.
Yes.
This is one of my all-time favorite or most popular quilts too. This is
wow.
a version of the dress. Originally this was done in taupes, and people took this pattern and turned it into a witch or a Halloween theme.
They took creative liberties with it,
They
huh?
did, and it's so fun to see everything that people did with
This
this.
is a salvage.
Yeah, so you can find anything in these. Yeah.
Wow, that's so awesome. Is this a ribbon?
Actually, no, that's an Anna Marie Horner fabric
okay.
that I just cut up and put in there.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So those are the few I selected. To
Yeah,
show
and
you.
there is a whole table back there full of all of her creations, and it's pretty spectacular when you come in here and look at it all. So she is going to have a trunk show tomorrow from 12:30 to 2, I believe.
Yep.
All right, so now do you have any questions for me first before I ask you some?
No real questions, but you must be very proud of yourself.
Well,
You've built a beautiful place here.
it's still kind of surreal yet. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, this is mine. Like when I turn the corner and I see those buildings, I think, oh my gosh, I did this. So
Right.
I don't think it ever becomes, more of a, oh, I'm so proud of myself. It's like, holy cow,
Right.
how did this
You
happen?
did that.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and what I say is people, nobody said no. So we just kept going from my idea to, well, let's see this. And then, oh, well, this is the next step. And then before you know it, we were breaking ground and there's things going up. And I'm like, about halfway through, I thought, holy crap, what did I do?
Right.
Right?
When you start to think about how many
The
yards
long-
of fabric do I have to sell?
Yeah, like how many fat quarters you need to,
exactly.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it gets overwhelming.
But luckily, probably the same thing you got is you have your people, right? You have your tribe, and they support us
Yeah.
and my people, and that's why I like to bring people like you on, because you're helping me right now keep this place going, and that's why we love to have more people come on and come to
Right.
teach and share this with, because if we can't share this
Right.
with other women doing, or men or whoever, we have Doug Lico coming and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's the best part about
Right.
this, is sharing
Right.
this spot. And I really am proud that we have this spot, because not everybody has something like this to go to. And hopefully it's going to be here long after I'm gone, so I don't know what it's going to look like, but
Good.
hopefully it'll keep going. Maybe I'll get a
Right.
granddaughter. I have no granddaughters.
Right.
You got one
Oh.
more grandbaby than I do, and I have all boys.
Oh, wow.
That's
Well,
just
we'll hope for a girl.
That's just my, well, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good boy mom, boy grandma, all
Right,
that kind of stuff.
right.
So I'm good with that. So one of the things I want to ask you is some like fun, quirky things, okay? 'Cause
Okay.
that's how you get to really know somebody.
Okay.
All right. And I wish I could have the audience questions, so had to come up with some of my own here. All right. So what is your favorite food or meal?
My favorite food is tacos.
Okay. Do you like to cook at home or go out?
I like to do both, but I think since COVID, I prefer to cook at home.
Okay.
I've got a boyfriend who's an awesome cook.
Oh.
And so I'm lucky there.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk more about that later.
Yeah.
All right. So, what is your favorite sweet treat?
Oh my goodness, those cupcakes that she made last
homemade
night.
cupcakes,
Yeah, the lemon. I love cakes.
Yeah.
I love cookies.
Okay.
But probably cakes. And
Cakes.
like a basic white cake would
Yeah.
be my favorite.
Like white cake, white frosting, like
Yeah,
birthday
like
cake.
a wedding cake.
Wedding cake. That's
kind
my
of,
favorite
yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Erica bakes all from scratch here, so that's
Oh
why
my
it's
gosh,
just
it's
so
so
good. And
good.
she
The
just
food-
throws these little things in there, like, what
Right.
was that? Like
Right.
this was so like the flavor profile is so intense on some of her things.
Well, and she's coming out with a cookbook, or you guys are?
No,
Yeah, I can't
well,
wait.
she's, we're just, yeah, we'll get to it. But finally, one of our customers have stepped up and said, Erica, I'm going to help you do this. So they're planning it, and then
right.
we will run it and print it here, but they're doing some of the work there.
Good.
Yeah, so
Good.
thanks, Faye, for taking that over. We love that. Yeah. All right, so I have a couple quilting favorite questions here, but we'll save those for last. So if
Okay.
you had a day off, what is the most favorite thing to do on a day off where you don't have to think about work, you can do whatever you want? What are you doing?
I would probably go up to the mountains and get in my side-by-side with a couple of friends and my dog and go.
Just go,
Go
right?
see
Wind in your
stuff.
hair and go, right?
Yep.
Or do you have a windshield on that side by side?
I have a windshield.
Yeah, so you're not getting dirty and dusty,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I know it's pretty. They're pretty elite nowadays. They're not
Right.
like a four-wheeler where you come back and
Right.
get all the.
Right.
Oh yeah, I just was at sit and sew at Tina's house last night. She was showing me her new side by side. So I'm like, I don't have one of them. But
Yeah, you should get one.
yeah, well, I have a four-wheeler that I run around out here with on, but
All
so that's
right.
my thing. Side by side, I know those aren't inexpensive, are
Yeah,
they?
no, they're not.
All right. I believe in self-care and taking care of yourself. So what is your favorite thing you do for self-care?
The favorite thing that I do is escape to my cabin/studio up in Red Lodge and create.
Good. So you're still going
Yeah.
to work, but that's what you want
Oh
to do.
yeah, yeah. Because I mean, I'm blessed in the fact that I love what I do, and it's really not
It's
work
not a
to
job,
me.
right, yeah.
Yeah. So.
And it's
not
hard
everybody
just
can
not to
say
do
that.
nothing, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can't do nothing.
Even when you're just sitting there, it's like, okay, I could be sewing binding, or I could be doing,
right.
and still be in the conversation, or still be enjoying the people or the show or whatever, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're in the same cloth there.
Yeah.
That's my thing too. I would be working even when I don't have to be. All right. So where do you want to go on vacation next?
Well, I've never been to Italy, and I've always wanted to go there, so that's on my bucket list.
So we should do like have this designer trip where like 6 or 8 designers go on. Just pick a destination and
Right.
go.
And not really work, just have fun together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Work on getting inspired.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be fun. Where do
Would
you
that
want
be
to
great?
go?
I'll go anywhere. I'll go to Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk about that later too.
Okay.
All right. Well, I kind of asked you this one. Would you rather cook or go eat out? All right. So let's go notions. What is your favorite notion that you can't live without?
Well, this is exciting. I have developed a new silicone mat for collage. It's going to be called the Collage Mat. I'm coming up with new serrated scissors
Okay.
for collage, and I have a little stiletto. And those will all be, the scissors will come out this fall, but the collage mat and the stiletto will be here next month.
Oh, that is so exciting.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited.
Right.
I did just develop these Sew Tight magnets for collage, and they're a little bit bigger than the regular Sew Tights. And their function is to keep the pattern and the patternies together so the things don't shift. Or they will also hold the fuse mat to the pattern, depending on which way you're working.
Of course, I got to play with it. I got to see how it all
Right.
works, right?
Yeah.
And I love that they're flowers, like your
Right,
flowers.
right.
Yeah, good job.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
So how many do they need? Do they need more than one pack of these to work on?
No, just one pack.
Oh,
You
okay.
just need 4.
4 corners?
Yep.
All
Yep.
right. Well, good job on that one. And those
Yeah.
are out when? Next month?
These are out now.
Now,
Yeah,
okay.
people can get these now from my website, or I do wholesale them to other shops as well. And my new mats and stilettos will be out the end of May. And those will be at distributors, at shops. But yeah, so
Good job.
I'm excited about
I love
that.
it when people create new things.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I have for my questions.
All right.
All right. So I don't want to take too much time because she is technically teaching. So we will. Anything else you want to just say before you say goodbye?
I don't think so.
No? Well, keep
thank
us
you
in
for
mind if
having
you ever want
me.
to come back.
Okay.
You know, obviously, probably not next year, but maybe.
Right,
You know, if
yeah,
you're gonna.
that'd be
We would
fun.
love to have you come back because I'm sure now after this, they're all gonna want to be like, "Why didn't I know?" I'm like, "We
Right.
talked about this every live for the
Exactly.
last 3 months." But
Yeah.
All right, but you're. Wait a minute. I just thought of something. Can you go back there and see if anybody wants to come and show what they're working on so far?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I did say, hey, I would really love to see some of your stuff works in progress so she can see it in progress, because this looks awesome, right? But how does this look in progress?
Yeah, how do you put it all together?
Right.
Right.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
If you don't mind that they see that.
No,
right?
absolutely not. No.
Okay.
And
so
it's,
what if somebody can't take one of your classes? What is the next best thing to do?
The next best thing is to read your pattern. The patterns are written so that they were designed so that you could do it at home on your own. There's step-by-step color photos of it as it progresses. So most people are just fine to go with the patterns, but some people really like that one-on-one.
And you have a
help.
book too on your technique
I do.
too, a little, because I have it. I
Yeah.
was looking at it the other day. I came across it when I was cleaning. So
Yeah.
yeah, I bought it myself because someday I'm going to want to do an anchor or maybe a dragonfly. So the technique is amazing, and it just is so forgiving and so easy, and just do what you want to do, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So look at all of our volunteers here. Okay. Who wants to come first? Come on in.
Oh, so we're doing ho 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 today, and this is not a beginner quilt by any means. So these girls, this is a lot of them. It is their first collage that they've done, so they're doing quite well.
Right. And this is Sue. She's one of the sisters. If you don't, Sherry. Oh, Sherry. I'm thinking Sue and Sherry. Yeah. Okay. And one of the sisters that come here on a very regular basis. So. Thanks for coming to another class.
Yeah, this has been.
It is
It's
so
much
beautiful.
fun. It's
Good.
really fun.
So that's the pattern behind it, and then
Yes, and here's the
it's like-
sew
is that
type
like a
magnets.
interfacing?
This is called patternese, and that's the foundation that they build the entire collage on.
and then there's those
The magnets.
not so pretty magnets.
Right.
Now you're gonna have pretty magnets.
Yes.
I'm sure she's probably already bought them.
Yeah. No, it's fun. I'm really enjoying it.
All right. Well,
All right.
thank
Thanks,
you.
Sherry. This is Sue. I was looking at Sue and said, you know.
Yes.
All right.
Wow, look at that.
Friday night when we got here, Sherry said, "What did I get us into?"
A whole bunch of
And
fun.
it's been great.
Yeah.
And you guys are at almost the very same spot. You're a little farther. You got a little, yeah, but look at that. You're all of you
Yeah.
now that I'm looking at Linda's too, yeah.
And they're doing some of their own little creative parts
Spins,
to it too.
right? You can just add
Yeah,
little
they
things.
they look at mine and I can make that better by doing this, and they're right. So
Well, but it's always easier when you see something to,
exactly.
yeah, to tweak it. But you are the,
But she's been good because she said, "Make it your own."
make it
Yeah.
your own,
Then-
yes.
yeah,
And
then it's kind of like relax.
right,
Yep.
because you're like, okay, I can do whatever I want. If I don't want to put all this on, I can just
Right.
put this much on.
Right. Yeah.
Good job.
So
Yeah.
very good.
Thanks,
So
Sue. That's
thank you.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Good
thank
to be
you.
back.
Yes, thanks for coming. All right. Another Santa. Look at that.
And I'm using her magnets to
no,
to
that's
show,
all
so
right,
that's why
Laura.
she doesn't have them.
Okay.
Anyway,
Very good. You just sit down there. Oh, do we have any more coming? Oh.
All right.
Oh, you mean Miss Katie doesn't want to show hers? Katie, you should show us. Come on, you're not shy. I know it.
It's beautiful.
All right, Linda, don't go far.
Yeah, come show it, because that's the school that she's doing.
Oh, yes. No, Friday and Saturday. All right, so this is Friday and Saturday's class.
Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, Saturday and Sunday. I'm sorry.
Oh, that turns out.
Look at how
yeah,
far
it's
she
looking
is.
really good.
And this one, I guess, is a little bit more simpler than Santa, right?
Yes.
Yes. Beautiful.
Yeah.
It'd look wonderful hanging in your sewing room.
it will.
Yes. Thanks. Thanks for not being shy, Katie.
Thank you.
All right. All right. All right. Okay. That's all I have for you. I'm going to talk to a little bit with her,
right,
if that's okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thanks for having me.
So I just wanted to talk a little bit with Linda Axberg because she does a lot of amazing things for me. All right, I don't know where to look. Okay? She was like, all right. So
Yes.
I have decided that I don't have to write every pattern that I do. So I just hand it over to Linda. So tell us a little bit about how you became to do what you're doing right now.
Okay. Well, I worked in magazines for, I don't know, since I started. So,
Okay.
like 20 years, and then, no, but I'm like 12.
And that's where I know her from
yes.
working with magazines.
And learned to reverse engineer quilts. antique quilts primarily, and so that's where I learned the math of it.
Yes.
So what you send me now, after all those things, I get to stay home and write instructions for people,
Right.
which is great.
And she is almost like, I think I found one little mistake one time.
I am far from perfect.
No, she's
But I
hardly
worry.
ever wrong.
I worry about the things when I'm not right. So, because I don't ever want anybody to be just like you. I don't ever want anybody to be frustrated with the instructions
Right, exactly.
and the project. Like, I want you to enjoy the quilting process.
Yes.
So, yeah. So you send me illustrations, and we talk through sometimes like, how is this really going to go together?
Lisa,
and
how are you going to make this?
Yeah,
And
you
I'm
want
like,
it to be flying
this
geese.
is how
you want
I
this to
see
be,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes we go through that process, and
Right.
it doesn't. When the quilter actually is starting to make the sample, it. That sounded like a great idea. That's not working.
Right.
Let's do something
Because
else.
sometimes I, like just in the last book, I'm like, yeah, let's just make that a half rectangle and whatever. But half rectangles are hard to deal
They
with.
are.
So I'm like,
they are.
let's just do
special
a template.
rulers or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and that's and that's great. We can kind of work through that and figure
Right.
those things out and make it so that
And
it's as
sometimes
easy as possible.
where you see where 2 minds or 3 minds,
Yeah.
the maker, the whatever,
Sure,
and whatever,
sure.
is better than just one person trying to do it.
Right. Because I can tell you the math is right.
Right.
But if it's not easy to make,
Right.
people get frustrated.
Right. And
So-
it's not all about just the math. We have to figure out the yardages
Yep.
and everything like that.
Yep,
too.
and which fabrics are we going to use, and what
Yep.
direction do the stripes go? That
Yeah,
is always the
which direction do the
stripes go for some reason.
And because our
we don't have
line
fabric yet.
always has a stripe.
Right.
Always. I always put a stripe and everything.
And you don't always have the fabric
No.
when we're doing the instructions.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, oh yeah, that didn't work that way.
Yeah, I'm like,
or,
oh.
we're adding a panel.
Or she'll ask me, yeah, I'll run it this way. And then when I see the fabric, oh, we're running
Nope.
it the other way. So then the whole math of the whole cutting changes.
Right,
So-
because you have to cut it different. And so, but it's been fun. It's been fun to see your patterns. You quilt in a very different way than I do. And so I'm always like, we're really making 962 half square triangles? And
We
Lisa's
are.
like, yep, we are.
Yeah,
I'm
and
like, okay.
she has the triangle paper chart, so she knows if we're making
do.
1-inch
Yep.
triangles that we need to cut 8 by 10.
Yep.
Because that's how many fit on there.
Yep.
right?
Yeah. One time Terry was like, we don't cut them that way. I'm like, well, that's the most efficient way. So we have to do it that way. She was like, okay, I
Yeah,
guess we
sometimes
will.
we win and sometimes we lose, but you gotta let your ego aside and you just kind of do it for the benefit of whatever is the easiest and the best.
Yeah. I want everybody to be happy with the instructions for your projects.
Good. So I'm happy that you're here.
I'm
at
so
the
excited that
gathering,
I'm here.
and I'm happy that you got to take Laura's class.
Yes. And I
then
hadn't been up here before.
Right.
So
And then I'm also happy that you get to meet Linda, because when you buy a Primitive Gatherings book, I want you to know the people that you are supporting. Not just Primitive Gatherings, not just Jessica and her job and Kaylee and even Linda, who
even
lives
me,
in where do you
Princeton,
live?
Illinois.
Yeah.
Bless my
So
heart.
we
Yeah,
have
middle of
people
nowhere.
out there working for us that you are supporting. So I wanted you to meet Linda while she was here.
Yeah, the funniest part is I did once have friends at a quilt retreat. They found the book at the store and they had me sign it.
Oh,
which was
that
just,
is
I
so
was like,
good.
I
'Cause her
shouldn't.
name is in there.
My
Look
name
at the
is in there. So I was
credits,
like, really? You want my autograph? So that was fun. But
Well, yes, you're part of the book.
I'm part of the book.
You
I feel like
are.
part of Primitive Gatherings.
She is.
And I
A
actually
big part.
shopped for wool. So it's a new
right.
thing.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you, dear. All right, everyone. That's all we have for you today. Sorry we could not go live, but just like everything else in life, that's the way it goes. All right. Thanks for joining us today, where every stitch tells a story. Bye, everyone.